Vidya were talking about body positivity long before we even understood what that meant.
I had no
right?
choice. I've had an actor who had Chinese, and then didn't brush, and then I had an intimate scene with him, and I was like, please,
You just offer
do
me.
you not have a partner? Today, I think we've gotten touchy about everything because everyone is taking offense to everything, Anu. Sometimes it's like, you don't know what to say to someone. I'd gotten very bored of watching all these series from here and from all over the world, and gun-toting people smashing eyes and eyeballs falling out, and I was like, "Bahut ho gaya ye sab." I want to believe that the world is a beautiful place, that people are good.
Good evening, everyone. And welcome to THR Talks. We are here to celebrate 20 years of one of our finest actors. Please put your hands together for Vidya Balan. And how fabulous is she looking,
Oh,
guys?
thank you.
Oh my God.
Hi. Oh my God, lots of familiar faces here. Hello, everyone.
क्या होगा हम सब करते हैं पालन क्या होगा हम सब करते हैं पालन हमारे सामने बैठी है विद्या
क्या बात है? Thank you.
Vidya, welcome. It is such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
And on behalf of all of us, I want to begin by saying thank you for 20 years of such stellar work, for 20 years of such incredible women, from Lalita and Parinita to Silk to Sulu to Manjulika. It's been amazing to see you soar.
Thank you. And I have to say that it's all the more special to be doing this with you, because I feel like I began with you.
Yeah.
With Vinod Chopra Films, of which you're a very integral part. So yeah, but it's surreal. But thank you. Thank you for all that you said.
So, Vidya, do these women leave any traces in you? Do you find yourself altered, or do you leave them behind?
No, I definitely think every character I've played, when it's a well etched out character and when it's well realized, it impacts you that much more. But even when it's not, I think it does. It's like getting to know another person. However briefly that person does touch you in some way, does make you realize some things, does make you discover some things. So I definitely think that every character of mine has altered me in ways that I realize and in ways that I don't. Sometimes it's more obvious, right? And sometimes in retrospect, you're like, oh, I've said this before, but I don't know whether I'm able to articulate it correctly. But I feel like every film for me has been a step further in my healing process. It's almost like I choose characters basis my current state of mind. Something that needs some part of me that needs expression or needs just needs to be seen, or that part of me chooses a character that gives voice and shape and form to it, and something happens. I think it's
alchemy,
almost,
no?
Yeah, it is alchemy. It's almost like a spiritual process, and without wanting to take myself or my work too seriously, but I cannot. Sometimes when I really think back at every film has left me with some lesson, and not just professional, not necessarily professional. I think it's a lot to do with what I understand about people, what I understand about myself every single time.
So, do you in life, have you ever found yourself doing something that you as Vidya would normally not do, and then you wonder, like, where did this come from, and could it be a character?
I'll tell you what happened. My manager is here, Aditi, wherever you are. So I was shooting for Ghanchakar.
She's
And-
on the steps there.
Yeah. And I was, training to speak in Punjabi. Now I'd learned all the abuses and all that. And one day I was in a very bad mood. Before I knew it, I was going at it in Punjabi, giving all these galis, and she started giggling. And I was like, what's funny? She said, you've just been ranting in this Punjabi accented Hindi. And, it's one of those funny instances. But yes, you do find yourself sometimes in the throes of shooting for a film. There are overlaps that happen, and this is a very this is a very like almost like a superficial obvious thing to have happened, but these funny things do happen and other things also happen. But yeah, this I thought was a never before and never after has that happened to me.
That you're swearing in
I
Punjabi.
was swearing in Punjabi and she's Punjabi and she started giggling and I was livid. I was like, what's funny about what I'm saying? I didn't even, and I think I was also wearing outlandish costumes and doing all that. So she was like, "मैं कहाँ फंस गई?"
Vidya, like around 15 years ago, I wrote a book on Shah Rukh, for which I interviewed Pradeep Krishan, who directed him in his first film, in which Annie gives it those ones, right? And Pradeep said to me that he really enjoys working with new actors because he said the more experienced ones do what he called daraz kholna, right? Ki you have to do a certain scene, you have to express joy. You open the actor drawer and you take out the expression of joy. Then you take out the expression of sadness or whatever. So he said that happens to the best of them. How have you avoided that trap?
Firstly, thank you. There's a compliment in there. but I do think that, and with complete respect to directors, I think when they say they only want to work with newcomers, those are the directors that are control freaks. They want people they can completely control and they say, oh, they're more malleable, they're more spontaneous. But I've realized that even a seasoned director can get you to do something new if there is mutual trust. But there has to be that. Like, my favorite example is this. I just did Bhool Bhulaiya 3 with Anees Bhai. And I couldn't have a few years ago imagined working in a film, not like Bhool Bhulaiya 3. Of course, Bhool Bhulaiya 3 is more, I was part of the original film and all that. But I'm just saying a complete commercial potboiler sort of thing with an Anees Bhai kind of director, because I don't know. I'd never been offered that kind of work and I'd never chosen that kind of work. But what I enjoyed was that it really, it was a disruptor of sorts for me to work with someone like him because he believes in no process. So for me, it was, I really, I think I just entrusted myself to him and I said, okay, what do I do? He said, just, आपको script आपके यहाँ script पहुंच जाएगी.
Script होती है पूरी.
Script होती है पूरी. Of course he improvises. See, because I really think he has a pulse of the audience. He knows how to make a certain scene more gripping and engaging and entertaining and funny. So those improvisations happen, but the script is in place. So he said it'll reach you. And if you want, see, I don't like to read or prep or anything, but if you want, I'll do it. I said, no. If you don't do that, then I'm not going to do it either. I'll land up and you tell me what to do. We land up, read the scene once or twice on set amongst the actors with him, and then we just go for it. And I enjoyed that process also. So I think what I've tried to do over the years, because I'm not a trained actor, Anupama, and I've always felt like, I have to find my way around every role. There's no method. Years ago, I read An Actor Prepares. I remember the first time I read it, kuch samajh mein nahi aaya. And I was like, what the hell? What is this all about? So I think I've just had to find my way. So what I've learned is that I have to trust the director, because in film it's the director's vision,
Yeah.
and follow their lead, right? I'm the sort of actor who actually likes to prep. I read my script enough number of times. I like to sit with the director, ask questions. If there's a skill to be acquired, do that, blah, 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 work on the look. All of those things are happening. But I will allow for you to bring out something new in me, because otherwise I'm one person.
Yeah.
And there's only so much. When you, like you said, wo daraz kholna,
Yeah.
if you say joy, I will probably do it a certain way, but it's up to you to now, teach me a new way, or help me discover a new way to do it. New as in to the extent that it can be new with the
Yeah.
same person, but the truth in the moment. So I think I've always loved that. And there are times when I've felt like, I remember when I was doing Sherni, Amit Masurkar is such a naturalistic director. You know his work. And initially I was a bit thrown. I was like, but I'm not being dramatic. Like, I'd never been told that, uh, just let's get a little more like real. Just
Tone it down.
yeah, not really tone it down. He didn't think I was overdoing it, but he was trying to get me to be even more real. And that's not something I'd been told before, right? Because a lot of people tell me that I tend to go that way naturally. So I was like struggling with it initially. It was like, but what am I don't understand what he requires of me. But I just kept telling myself that he must, he's also not very communicative. So it's not like he'll be able to tell you exactly what, but he kept pushing me. And that was another great experience, because it did throw me off initially, but I think it helped me discover a new, a character in a way that I hadn't thought of before, or for a while, let's say, because you also get set in your ways. A lot of directors don't push you once you're established, and that's not something I enjoy. I like to be pushed.
Do you want to be directed?
Yes. I think that's very important to me, because I entrust myself to my director. So if I'm not being directed, then I'm here, for you to tell me what to do. See, I'm seeing it this way, but maybe you're seeing it differently, and you need to communicate that to me. And you need to, if I'm not able to reach there, then you have to guide me to also, let's, handhold me.
Yeah.
Like, I remember on the Dirty Picture, Milan handheld me throughout, because Silk was so far removed from who I had allowed myself to be around people, though I think there was a Silk deep down in me, right? But therefore, I think he handheld me, because I felt like, okay, I felt completely understood, supported. He and the DOP, I have to say, Bobby Singh, who unfortunately is no more, they both really they handheld me through the process. Of course, that much more Milan, because the director. But I think that is very crucial to me. That equation with the director, that rapport with the director. So God forbid, if I didn't get along with my director, I would be a raving lunatic. I would want to run off set, and thankfully that's not happened so far.
But Vidya, do you find that now, because you're such a fine actor, right?
Thank you.
Do people just simply sort of say कि यार it's Vidya Balan, ये तो संभाल ही लेगी, वो attitude होता है?
नहीं, वही मैं कह रही हूँ. So a lot of times they don't push you because
because they think you'll handle it.
Yeah, and I guess they feel acha there's a basic standard or level of competence once you're established. So, but I keep telling my directors, no, I keep saying, is this going the way you're seeing it? Even on an ad film, I do that. Where there's not that much scope, especially with the kind of brands I do, which are more mass. But for me, that is what gives me most joy. That is what, I love what I do, Anu. So for me, every day on set, I have to make it count. Because I feel like I'm living my dream. So I can't just go to the set and just come back feeling like, okay, So I take it very seriously. I'm very passionate. I'm very excited. Even if I'm tired, once I'm on set, I'm a different animal because I think I value the fact that I'm getting to do this for a living.
It's a privilege.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know that there are thousands and millions who come into the city wanting to be actors, and it doesn't happen. And I also come from a complete non-film background. So that's something I feel constantly grateful for. So I keep telling directors, Nate, should we do one more? Can I show you another way of doing it? Or, because then there's a certain, maybe we'll discover something new together. On film, I sit with the director invariably 1 month before the shoot so that we form a rapport, especially if it's a new director. Then that becomes all the more crucial, because otherwise sometimes they also have a certain notion or a perception of who you are basis the work you've done. And they're also a bit conscious and all. I don't want any of that to come in the way.
Maybe they're intimidated by you.
Maybe they are. And I don't want that to happen. I'm very greedy. I want them to allow me to discover something new in me as an actor, to get me to do something new, to make me realize that, oh, acha, I can do this. I remember that happened during Tumhari Sulu. 2 weeks before Tumhari Sulu, we did a look test. And we were doing readings because there was a slight Bambaiya way in which she spoke. And I felt like I was not getting it. Vijay Maurya, the writer, was sitting with me on diction. And I remember crying. That was one of those rare times when I cried to Suresh and I said, I don't think I'm ready for the film. I don't know if I'm even getting it. And I think he was thrown because he was hoping that, I was the established one and I was going to be supporting him. And here he was having to hold me together and say, no, listen, it's perfectly fine. We'll do whatever you need for you to feel comfortable. But I think you're getting it just right. And of course, in a day or two after that, I felt differently and we started shooting and it went off well and everything. But yeah, I like that little, I think, struggle and strife and, that makes the process interesting for me.
Yeah. You should always be a little scared.
Yeah, scared and just try something new. That's always my endeavor because, Anu, again, like I told you, I'm so... I'm so, what is the word? I guard what I do so ferociously that I don't want to lose interest ever. I don't want to be going on a set. I remember in between there was a year when I was working a lot. Since 2008, I started my career in 2005. Since 2008, pretty much I've done 1, max 2 films a year. That year, I ended up doing 3 films. And I remember there were days when I went on set and I felt so chidchida and I said, listen, I'm not doing this anymore. However exciting the script, if they're not willing to wait for me to start the film, I'm not doing it because I don't want to be shooting every single day and feeling like it's just a job, अच्छा कितने बजे pack up हो रहा है, कितने shots बचे हैं, वो मुझे नहीं करना है.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's no joy in it. And thankfully, it's not about survival, right? It's not like I need that for the next meal on my plate. So then I think one has to have that. One has to make or use the luxury of choice.
And Vidya, the last time we met, which was sometime in March, you told me you were exercising that luxury of choice so much that you hadn't signed anything.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, she was literally like, I'm at home and I'm having fun making reels.
And sleeping and waking up when I want to, watching what I want to, it's just like...
But Vidya, there's so much pressure on actors to be seen. This whole idea of we must be relevant. What does it take for an actor to say, no, until this excites me, I'm not going to do it? Like, did you have a moment of panic, of insecurity?
No, I think I'm shamelessly optimistic. I have so much self-belief. Anu, I've put myself out there at my biggest and not batted an eyelid. I've had people tell me, you should work on yourself and you should work on shedding weight and all that. I actually believe there was nothing wrong with me. But I think that's a great attitude because it helped me, sail through. I was still playing the lead. I was still doing exciting films. So I don't think that those kind of insecurities have really ever weighed me down. Of course, there are moments of insecurity. I won't deny that's very human. But I think there are more moments of self belief and self love and this conviction that I'm going to be doing this until I pop it. So, where's the rush? Why should I be in a hurry to? I'm actually, like I told you the other day, I've gotten back to reading. So, I'm really enjoying that. Um, I'm really, for the first time in life, I'm not experiencing stress because, I do think that knowingly, unknowingly, consciously, unconsciously, we go through a lot of stress. I didn't even realize it. Every time someone told me, you must be stressed, this is happening, and I'd be like, no, I'm not stressed at all because there was no awareness even. But I'm enjoying this period. I'm also reading scripts, I'm meeting people, listening to stories, all of that. And I have decided on 2 films. Unfortunately, I'm not able to talk about them yet because they've gotten a bit delayed. So until we sign and until we decide on, I'm not committing to anything publicly. But no, jokes apart, I think that, yes, I know what I'm doing next now.
Nice.
But it's going to take a couple of months more, and I'm not complaining. I think I've enjoyed that. I enjoy living life so that there is something for me to give back also when I go on set. I don't want to be living life on a set. That's someone else's life anyway. So I want to live my life as Vidya so that when I go back, yeah, there are times when I do nothing. My parents, my sister and her family, they all stay close by. I spend a lot of time with them. I think sometimes they're like, when are you going back to work? Because I also then I'm constantly telling Siddharth, you don't have the time for me. Because invariably, I'm sure you experience this, when he is busy, I'm free. When I'm busy, he's free. So it's invariably, so all those things happen, but I think this time is invaluable.
Yeah.
It's actually recharging me. I've watched a lot of films that I wanted to watch for a very long time. I just recently went on a Meena Kumari binge.
How lovely.
Yeah, I watched about 6 of her films. I love her, but my memories of watching her date back to before I became a film actor. So I just wanted to rewatch and see if, the films have aged well, how I felt about her and all that. I felt as strongly about her. Not necessarily about the films, but
Yeah, some don't date well. Yeah.
But like last night I watched Umrao Jaan.
How lovely.
And I have to tell you, it was such a special moment, Anu, because I was sitting and watching Umrao Jaan with Umrao Jaan next to me, holding my hand. And at some point I said, really? When I watched it the first time, I'd never imagined.
Yeah.
I'd never imagined. And it was just surreal. And on the other side, I had Shabana ji, whose mother, Shaukat Kaifi, is also in the film. So I was like, this is unreal. So for a moment I think I got out of the film because the film is, you cannot take your eyes off the film. You cannot take
exquisite.
your eyes off Rekha ji. It's just, there are, of course, there's Nasir Saab, there's Deena Pathak, there's
Farooq Sheikh.
Oh,
how lovely.
Shaukat Kaifi.
Yeah.
All of them are amazing. But Rekha ji is like, I feel like she was created for the celluloid. If there was one person who was, it's her. She's just, there is no word for her. I don't think I can call her magical or mesmerizing. She's beyond all of that. And there's just, she's pure. I felt like she's desire incarnate. That's what she exudes in every frame. I think it's just.
And so now you're recharged.
Yeah, I'm recharged because I'm watching so much of. I'd gotten very bored of watching all these series from here and from all over the world, and gun-toting people, smashing eyes and eyeballs falling out, and I was like, "Bahut ho gaya ye sab." I want to believe that the world is a beautiful place, that people are good. So go back to the basics, and I'm enjoying it.
But we read that you are doing Ritesh Deshmukh's film. Is
Yes.
that true?
Yes, I've just finished shooting for it, as a matter of fact.
What can you tell us?
That it is a film on Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And I don't know if I can reveal the character, actually. I haven't asked him because I finished only last night.
Sanchita Singh, no. She's like, no.
But I have to say, I was amazed because I've worked with Ritesh as an actor in Hey Baby, and I think his comic timing is amazing. But I also have watched him in Ek Villain and Raid, and he does the whole gamut and very effortlessly. But he's a very good director. Like, I enjoy doing the scenes with him. I guess because he's also an actor. Maybe it's not fair to put it down to that, but maybe it helps that he's an actor. The way he directed me was like, in a way that was it was almost like he said it and I got it. It was almost seamless because I think the conversation was happening between two actors. I enjoyed that. And I think what they're attempting to do with this one is really fantastic. So I'm very happy to be part of it. And there's Sanjay Dutt in the film. So I have to say, we're talking about Parinita. So after 19 years, because we did do Munna Bhai together, we were on the same set, and it was so beautiful. Because, I've always said this, that he's one of those... I cannot tell you how kind he was to me, Anu, during Parinita. And that I will always hold very special. And therefore, when I met him and I could say that to him, of course, we've been in touch sporadically over the years, but I was just happy to be able to hug him and tell him that, lage raho Munna Bhai. Aap jaisa koi nahi. And by the way, I called Vinod and I told him, I'm saying Vinod here, I call him Mr. Chopra, but I called him and I said, Sanju's got the idea for Munna Bhai 3, so come on, let's get rolling. Who's calling Raju, you or me?
I know. This has been an ongoing conversation.
I know.
It's been so many years they've been having this.
Yeah.
Tell me, Vidya.
I was just making sure I'm in it. Because the girl changes in every Munna Bhai.
Sanjay hai to kya farak padta hai? But tell me this. What is the most practical advice anyone's ever given you about acting? I asked this of Abhishek Bachchan and he said it came to him from Aishwarya.
Huh.
She said, before every shot, check your teeth and check your nose. Because later on you don't want to discover ki kuch tha. So,
oh my God.
what is the most practical advice you've got?
I don't think I've gotten... Mine has been a little more practical advice. Actually, I've not gotten from anyone. But I remember watching Mohanlal because I started my career with Mohanlal in a Malayalam film, which never got completed, right? It was a film called Chakram. And I remember that he would be like talking to everyone on set, just being. And then suddenly the camera would come on and I would see him take a few seconds to just, I don't know whether compose himself or disconnect from the world or what. And then there was magic when action was called for. And I remember I asked him, he said, I just allow for the magic to happen. He didn't say it like magic, but I'm calling it magic. He said, but I allow for that to happen. So I think he just emotionally, mentally, maybe physically, just cuts off from all the noise. And that's something that I observed and learned. But it's not, no one's told me. I've been very careful as a woman anyway. I think you're extra careful about these things, right? Smelling good and making sure you're...
Nose and teeth are
yeah,
fine.
absolutely. But really, it's the worst.
It is, no.
Because sometimes when you have to tell someone also, you're like, how do I tell this person? I've had an actor who had Chinese and then didn't brush and then I had an intimate scene with him and I was like, and I was like, please.
You just offer
Do you
mints.
not have a partner? No, I didn't offer mints. I was too new. I was too scared. But I have to also, since again, we're talking about, we were doing the intimate scene with Sanjay Dutt. And he came to me in the morning and he's saying, Vidya, I'm really nervous. I don't know how we're going to do this. And I'm looking at him thinking, this is Sanjay Dutt. That itself is quite... And then he's so seasoned and he's telling me this, seasoned in every way, but he's telling me this. I couldn't resist that. But you know, it was his generosity. What he did was made sure that I felt like he too was nervous. And that took the load off me because, you know, it was my first intimate scene and I was like, I didn't know my way. You know, you almost feel like you're going to expose a part of you when you're doing something like this. But that put me at ease. And I'll never forget at the end of the day, he came, knocked on my door, and he said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, yeah, absolutely." He kissed me on my forehead and left. And that's why Sanjay Dutt is Sanjay Dutt. Yeah.
How lovely.
Yeah.
How lovely.
And he also smells lovely. Very
Always a
important.
bonus.
Always.
Always a bonus. Vidya, I've said this to you before, but I think that you are really the key architect of the contemporary female led film. Because I think the success of The Dirty Picture was what allowed the business to see that you can put a female at center stage and still make a lot of money.
Right.
And we know that the box office is fundamentally what shifts the business.
Yeah.
Right? But Vidya, we're living in a very different time. And at this point, it is go big or go home. You were talking about eyeballs coming out. Yes, every actor of every age, male, is reinventing himself as an action hero. Women's
Getting
whatever.
six packs, that seems to be the
Correct.
most important criterion if you're a male actor.
If you're a male actor, is to have the six packs. The, you know, sort of what is quote unquote a female story is like, okay, that's good for streaming.
Yeah.
You have said it's time to reinvent
Yeah.
the female led film. What do you want to see?
I just want us to be having fun. I think we've, you know, our stories are still reflective of what we're going through in society, right? Because that's always been the truth about cinema. So that will be there, but I just think that we need to stop taking ourselves so seriously. It like 90% of the stories that I get offered are very intense, are very serious, are about women just not having fun ever. You know, I remember I enjoyed Queen. I know that was a long time ago now. It's what, almost 10, 12
More,
years.
yeah.
And I feel like those kind of films are the kind of films that we also need to make. You know, it can't always, I don't know the right term for it, Anu, but I just feel like I want to have fun. And as women, we're also having fun now more than ever. I want to see that on screen. I don't want us to just be juggling various things and chasing our dreams and driving the men out of our lives. And then, you know, all
The suffering.
Yeah, the suffering. I think, like even another Kahani. You know, I just think that is one of the best scripts I've read in my life. And then it also turned out to be a great film. So I just think that also that kind of fun. It can be anything, but I think there is some need for reinvention per se in Hindi cinema. And that much more with women-led films. I think because also... I don't know, the term is very vague, but I feel make it sexy. I don't necessarily mean it's about the body or about skin
Yeah.
show or about showing sex. Just make it sexy and fun.
Alluring.
Yeah, alluring. It has to
Yeah.
be exciting, you know. I think that somehow is not happening with the female-led films. And therefore, I've, post the pandemic, I've just been feeling like, no, this is not something I want to do. You know, I haven't read one so-called female-led script that made me feel like, oh wow, you know, this like a Tumhari Sulu. You know, it made me feel like it was real, but it was fun.
It was
It
joyous.
was cheeky. It was joyous, yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to see joyous stuff. I think again, post-pandemic, something's changed in me, at least for the moment, and I feel like. We're generally so bogged down in life, right? There's so many stresses these days. We're constantly reading about people just popping it, and it's so many other things happening. It's heartbreaking. It's just so upsetting. When you watch something, I just feel like I want to. Why can't we do a Chaplin, for example? You know, something Chaplin-esque, something that just, why does it all have to be violent and serious and intense and about the nation and about, I don't know, something so large? Why can't it just be simple about people, about you and me and about, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying Rishikesh Mukherjee, but today.
Correct.
I'm not saying do a Rishikesh Mukherjee film because that was right for that time. But today, Chaplin today. I've been telling everyone, write something Chaplinist for me. Let's do a short film. But I don't know when it comes to it. So it's not just the OTT and the. Generally, I think we're all so scared of success and failure today, and of how we, whether we're measuring up or not. That I think we are incapable of making choices that are authentic. But I have to say that, while thank you for crediting me with that, but I'll say it time and again that yes, I did the Dirty Picture and I did Kahani, and I'm very grateful for those. But I've done a whole lot of films after that, and not all have worked.
Yeah.
So it was those films, as much as I want to take credit for it. And so it's also, I think it's really about the film per se. We all stand to benefit when a film does well. But it's just, I think, high time when I remember when Ekta was doing the Dirty Picture, I don't think she had much packing in terms. She doesn't care about it. But I'm saying it's not like people were saying, "Arey, yeah, go do it." Because people were like, "What are you doing?" I remember some people told me, "Why you playing Silk? It's harakiri. It'll be the end of your career." And I said, at least it'll be the end of my career doing what I want to be doing. No? I didn't believe my career would end. I don't think anything can like that for anyone,
Yeah.
But I really think we've become very fearful. And it's not just about the film business and all that. It's what we've gone through as a world in the past few years that is making us really cautious.
Yeah.
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 Like they say that, no, the courageous do not live forever, but the cautious do not live at all. And I love that.
Yes,
I think we're not
yes.
living at all at the moment.
Tell me, you, Vidya, were talking about body positivity long before we even understood what that meant.
I had no
right?
choice. You didn't need to talk about it. No, but yeah.
But Vidya, do you think that today things have changed, or in fact, because of social media, there's even more pressure on women to look a certain way?
I definitely think that there is more of a pressure
Hannah?
to look a certain way.
Yeah.
And but there are also enough voices that are saying, I don't fit in, and at least they're trying to be okay not fitting in, which is what I've done all these years. Even when I've gone around saying, I'm fully accepting of myself, I don't know if I was fully accepting of myself or I was telling myself that. But you fake it till you make it. So, I think what's nice is there are enough of those voices also, people standing up for themselves. And a lot of times people standing up for things they don't even know anything about, but that's another story. But, I think it's fashionable to stand up for yourself today. And even if you don't know what you're standing up for, at least you are. You know what I
So,
mean?
in a sense, you can find sort of some solidarity with someone.
Yeah.
It's not as lonely as it was when
Yeah.
you were talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anyone understood. I remember journalists asking me all sorts of questions, at different points of time. And, when I was going through different sizes of clothes. So I remember I used to be like, this is so rude. And I don't think anyone even understood it. They would be like, no, but you are in a profession which requires you to look a certain way. So, obviously people are going to say things. And I would be so heartbroken. And so I'm just glad that people are now more vocal in saying, listen, this is who I am. I'm all for being healthy, though, I have to tell you that. And that's something I've always strived for. But you have to accept your body the way it is. Because if you don't, your body will pack up one day and then that'll be the end of you anyway. There will be nothing left of you. So I think I'm very glad there is a conversation going on.
Yeah.
A lot of people are unnecessarily woke and I'm very conflicted about whether the word fat is bad or not? Like, is the word thin bad or not?
Yeah.
You know, so these are things that should we maybe the association has been so negative over time that when sometimes you just to describe a person, if someone said, no, she's slightly fat or he's slightly fat, and there are other people who turned around. It happened to me. I told my niece, no, that girl, no, that boy who was slightly plump, and she said, why are you body shaming him? She's 13. And I said, I'm not body shaming him, I'm describing him to you. There is a difference. There is no judgment there, but I'm just describing him to you physically. So today, I think we've gotten touchy about everything. Even descriptions have become very difficult. If I say I'm South Indian, but born and raised in Maharashtra, even that could be a problem. Anything could be a problem.
Yeah.
So I think I just think overall, we need to take ourselves less seriously.
Yeah.
Huh?
At a larger level.
At a larger level,
Yeah.
because everyone is taking offense to everything, Anu. Sometimes it's like, you don't know what to say to someone. And I just think that basically, because we don't know who we are protecting ourselves against any definitions anything that could, be definitive or rather define us in a way that we don't see ourselves. I don't know what it is. I'm very confused myself. I know I'm sounding confused. Sorry about that. But it's just this frustration,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's just हर बात पे चिढ़ जाते हैं और काम भी कर लो कोई. Yeah, live a life, I really feel like telling people, like, people comment, they tell me, oh, you get great comments on Instagram. And I said, oh, that's great to know, because I don't read them. And they're saying, no, but you get great comments. I said, but that's okay. I put out what I want to put out because I like it. You may or may not like it. That's your prerogative. I'm not seeking your approval. If I am, I'll send it to you directly and ask you, Anu, what you think about it, right?
Right.
It has to have we have to have some filters for ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. Vidya, when you were asked what is different about you as an actor from when you first began to now, you said, I'm more comfortable saying no.
Yeah.
So, of course, you're saying no to a lot of film scripts. We know that.
Yeah.
What else are you saying no to?
I've always been a very, I don't know, I'm not antisocial, but I'm not comfortable in big groups of people. I don't know what to say to anyone. I remember once someone said to me, we were at a film screening, and he turned to me and he said, we'll call him Mr. X. He said, hi Vidya, how are you? I said, I'm good. By the time I finished, I'm good. He said, hey, hi, Sid. I said, if you didn't want the answer, why did you ask me? Because this is what we all do, right? So I get fed up of, just trying to, you're there, you're saying, hi, how are you? You're not going beyond
And you're saying,
that.
let's catch up, which we'll never do.
Which never happens. And I'm not interested in knowing what you're doing, because I'll get to know, na? Even you'll get to know what I'm doing. We don't need to ask each other about work here. So I've never been comfortable with it. Siddharth's a very social person. He enjoys being around people. But now I've started saying, listen, you do you, I do me.
So you won't go?
Yeah, not unless it's friends. And if there are people I genuinely know, for example, like Rekha Ji's screening yesterday, I wanted to be there, and I went. But otherwise, I'm okay saying no to. I'm okay saying, listen, I don't feel like, I'm sorry, I'll watch your film in the theater. Yeah. I think it's also, screenings are painful.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have to come out and say nice things even when, you
don't mean them.
You don't mean them, and not necessarily because they are not, it's not a good film or whatever. Maybe you're in a bad mood, or maybe you don't like the person in the film.
It's too
Or
much
you don't-
pressure.
Yeah, it's just, there are so many layers, right? When I just don't, I'm done with all this now. Nahi hota. And sometimes I tell myself, are you becoming one of those very early in life? But it's okay, yeah. I go through very social periods also sometimes, but then I hibernate. And how? I need it.
Okay, I have two more questions and then I open it up.
Yes.
One is, a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to Imtiaz Ali. It's also his 20th year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I asked him about legacy. I said, what do you think about, how do you want people to talk about you? And he said, I don't. He said, I don't think about legacy at all. I don't care what they say about me. I just want them to remember the movies. What do you want?
Yeah, I don't think about legacy at all. I'm like, when I'm here, be nice to me. Spend your money, go to the theater, watch my films, show me love. But beyond that, once I'm gone, how does it matter? I won't know anyway. Someone actually told me, I want, जब मेरी मैयत निकलेगी ना, तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि जुलूस हो, सड़कें भर जाए. I said, आपको दिखेगा थोड़ी. भर तो जाएगा पर आपको दिखेगा थोड़ी. So I don't care about that, genuinely. I want to feel loved. I want to give love, receive love in my lifetime through my work and outside of work, and that's it.
Okay, and last one of my favorite quotes about acting comes from Javier Bardem.
Oh my God. What did he say?
Let's take a moment just to think about Javier Bardem.
Yeah, really.
So, he was asked that, like, what's your big dream as an actor? And he said, I hope that when I'm done and it's all over, if you put all the characters I've played in a room, they will have nothing to say to each other because they're so different.
Oh, wow. What a beautiful thing to say.
How amazing, right?
Yeah. I've always wanted to give quotes like this, but I never.
Is that something you want, Vidya? And at the 20-year mark, do you feel you're there? I mean, I don't know. I was thinking, I'm like, would Sulu have something to say to Silk? Maybe not.
Maybe not. And I'm very happy about that because I have had the opportunity to play some very different characters. Like I said, some have turned out the way I imagined, some didn't. Even in terms of commercial success and all that, we're not going there, just as characters. But, I think I don't think I take it. I love what I do, Anu, and I'm trying to do my best. And I don't think beyond that, honestly. I think about Javier Bardem, but not what he says.
and that's a very fine way to be.
Yeah. Okay, I remember the first interview we did together. We were talking about George Clooney. And we were only laughing. And then there's been Idris Elba, Javier Bardem.
And I used to work for NDTV at that time. And this was the first interview that two of us did. And we were laughing so hard that the poor man who had to edit that interview was like, "Ye kya hai? The Great Laughter Challenge?" He was so upset.
But I have to also tell you, her mother and her sister share this infectious laugh, and God bless you all. I think amazing women. And it's just when they enter a room, you just know one of the Chandra girls is here. Chopra now.
Chopra now. Okay, guys, who has questions and where is the mic?
Hi.
Vanakkam, ma'am.
Oh, vanakkam.
To impress you, I wear from top to bottom. All the things are black. My bag and umbrella also black today. I know your favorite color is black.
Yes, that's true.
Coincidentally, I am also artist and we both are neighbors. Like you are from the Chembur.
Yes.
I am from Kurla.
Oh, lovely.
Chembur Chipori, Kurla Chapora. My question is like, I am watching you since Hum Panch. तब से लेके अब तक आपने सिर्फ चश्मा निकाला, आप ऐसे के वैसे ही हो. What is the secret behind your beauty?
Thank you.
Like more than 25 years, you are looking very same.
Oh, thank you so much. What's your name again?
Avit Shetty.
Avit.
Shetty.
Thank you. तुमने खुश कर दिया, दिल खुश कर दिया.
मैं हमेशा खुशी करता हूँ.
नहीं पर I'm very happy you say that, but I'm a very happy 46-year-old. I'm very proud of the 46 years I've spent on this earth.
Looks like 30-31 only.
Thank you. I think
have a
वो
gift for you.
पागलपन है थोड़ा तो शायद बचपना है शायद इस वजह से. But thank
मैम
you.
ऐसी हमेशा रहो. आपकी मूवी हमेशा अच्छी लगती है मुझे क्योंकि बाकियों की मूवी हम देखने जाते हैं हीरो के लिए. You are one of the rarest actress जिसके हीरो के लिए हम देखने नहीं जाते, आपके लिए देखने जाते हैं आपकी मूवी.
Thank you.
I have one gift, ma'am, for you.
Oh, how
Your
sweet.
favorite actress is a Sridevi, and I made you like a Sridevi look-alike.
Oh my God. Please hand it to me.
Thank you.
Avit.
bit shitty.
Kurla Chapora.
Yeah.
Oh, how lovely. Lovely.
She's a Sridevi. I made you look alike.
How sweet. AI. पर जितनी कोशिश कर लो श्रीदेवी तो एक ही थी. But
How
thank you
lovely.
so
How
much.
lovely. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
we have another
Hi,
question.
Vidya. You're looking
Hi.
so beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm a aspiring filmmaker. I recently shot, web series in nearby Lucknow in Shahjahanpur, and we were shooting like 12 to 13 hours. But my question is that there is a debate regarding the entertainment industry shift work of 8 hours or 9 hours. There are a lot of things in media and rolling out. So what's your take on that?
No, I think, there is conversation about how mothers need to have the option to work for fewer hours, flexible hours, right? I think that's fair. Every industry is adopting those practices so that we don't lose out on new mothers or women when in the early years of them having children. So I think it's very important that we do have flexible working hours for women.
So do you shoot sometimes also 8 hours or it's according to the production like going 12
No.
or 14 hours? See, standard, we all are in entertainment industry. It happens like
Yeah,
12 to 14
I
hours.
have to be honest with you on the kind of films that I do. We cannot afford to shoot only for 8 hours. And I'm not a mother. So I have all the time in the world to be doing a 12-hour shift. But yeah, I do 12 hours so far.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Somebody at the back. Where is the mic?
Hi, ma'am. My name is Achal.
Hi.
I am North Indian. I've come from Delhi. And I am a huge fan of yours.
Oh, thank you.
I will share an experience when the first time we went to watch Parinita. मैं बहुत छोटा था तो we did not know you as
Right.
an तो मामा जी साथ में थे, my uncle was there and we came out. He's a very introvert person,
Huh.
but when he was just sitting and looking at in one direction and everybody asked क्या हुआ, he said actress बहुत सुंदर थी.
Thank you.
And ever since that, see, I've seen Hampanch also, like he mentioned, and I've been in your journey, with your journey as a fan throughout.
Oh, thank
so
you so
whatever
much.
you know about yourself on the screen, I think I know almost everything here.
Kya baat hai. Thank you.
And in Guru, people loved so many performances of a lot of people, but that one character who made me cry and I came back with tears was you. It
Thank
was
you.
beautiful. I can't tell you. I mean, it had a lot of life, ma'am. Seriously, I've written a poetry for you. If
Oh, wow.
I'm an instant poet,
Oh, wow.
and if you allow, I will
Please,
recite
please.
it for you.
Irshad.
I've just written it right now. While you were talking, I made efforts to write it. आसमान से उतरी एक परी जिसने आज इस सफ़ेद से लिबास में आकर सबका दिल जीता है. किसी के लिए सुलू, किसी के लिए मंजुलिका, किसी के लिए सिल्क और किसी के लिए आप परिणीता है. कशिश है कुछ अंदाज़ों में आपके, तभी तो आपके एंटरटेनमेंट बोलते ही पर्दे पर कमाल होता है. ये तो खुदा को भी पता था कि अजूबा दे रहा हूँ इस कायनात को मैं. ऐसे ही थोड़ा जनवरी 1 को नया साल होता है.
अरे वाह. Thank you. What talent.
So, ma'am, my question for you is that throughout all this journey, starting from the first 90 TV commercials that you did, and the whole journey till today, everything, Bhul Bhulaiya and everything. So, in this whole process, do you miss that? You remember your childhood, right? Completely everything.
Completely.
So, do you miss that real Vidya, or do you think that you have found the Vidya?
She didn't go anywhere. She's sitting in front of you. Of course, there is a part of me that I allow to be seen when I'm being the actor Vidya Balan. But if I was sitting with you one-on-one, there would be another part of me. But I still think all of those Vidyas are Vidya.
That's so beautiful, because a lot of people say, ma'am, that acting se pehle ki dunya aur baad ki dunya is like reincarnation. But for you, even right now, I can see so candid you are, so amazing that, your heart always feels good. You can pull out 1,000 people out of depression. You can be the best medical doctor, I would tell you.
Thank you.
And Anupama, ma'am, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Hi Vidya,
Hi.
I'm Riddhi.
Hi, Riddhi. I
What's
can't
up?
quite see you under the light, but yeah. Hi.
That's
yes.
better.
That's better.
One question. Over the years, how have you learned to take criticism or feedback? How much of it do you take to yourself? How much do you let go? And if there's a genuine feedback that you resonate with, what is your process of internalizing it like?
I think I never react immediately. Criticism is never easy to take, but I invariably think about what someone tells me, whether it's feedback or criticism, whatever it is. I think about it, I give it time. And there are times when I feel that it's genuine and maybe there is, maybe I want to look into what that person has said. And sometimes I feel that it's not, and then I just let it go. But it's never easy. And I think both feedback and criticism are not easy. Do you agree? Yeah. It's tough. Thank you.
Hello, good evening.
Hi.
Hello, good evening. Good
Good evening.
First off, I'll start with how I relate to you. I have really felt confident being able to wear sari almost every day because.
Wow. And you look lovely.
Thank you so much. I pattu podu kattindu vandhen. So ungala
ஆமா ரொம்பவே அழகா இருக்கு.
Thank you so much. So I have two questions, quick ones. One is, I'm sure, have you ever remembered the times when people have advised you to be more strategic or act up for something or?
No, people used to tell me to be more social and go to parties and all. But thankfully for me, I started, and not because Anu is here, but I started my career with Vinod Chopra Films. I did my first 3 films with them. And, I didn't have to do any of that. I remember I learned a very important lesson from Mr. Chopra early on, which is fitness, family, and films. In that order. And I think I've followed that all my life. Baki, I realized that by socializing, no one gives you work. You're not top of mind because you socialize. It's only work that begets work. So focus on the work.
Great. Second question, we loved your cameo in the Tamil remake of Pink with Ajit sir. So can we see more of you in Tamil films?
No, I'd love to do a film in Tamil and in all the South languages, but I've not been offered anything exciting. I did that special appearance.
And you looked amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Amazing.
But it was just, because it was Boni ji who offered it to me, and I know him, and I worshipped Shri Ma'am, so that's why. But otherwise, nothing substantial has been offered to me so far, but fingers crossed.
Sure. All the
Thank
best,
you.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I think we have just time for one more. Where is the mics?
Hi.
I'm Doel Dhamecha and I'm an outstation student here studying.
Oh,
So
lovely.
I have a small question. What drew you or encouraged you towards acting?
I think actually the first time I realized I wanted to be an actor was when I watched Madhuri do Ek Do Teen.
Okay.
I was smitten, and like the rest of the country, I fell in love, and I said, okay, मैं Madhuri Dixit बनना चाहती हूँ. Literally that.
That's great.
My sister had a silk brown skirt which she hated. She would never wear it. Someone had gifted that to her. So I would put that around my hair, twist it. We had a big full-length mirror. I would do Ek Do Teen all day. If you said Ek, I thought you were inviting me to dance. So Madhuri Dixit was the beginning of... She was who inspired me, of course, over the years. That I think once you're bitten by that bug, it doesn't leave. And but that was the beginning.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, Rekha has a question, guys. She's the writer of Parinita. We have to let Rekha ask a question.
It's not a question, or there will be a question probably at the end of it. But I remember that one of the most difficult scenes for me to write in Parinita was the Mala Badal.
Yeah.
It was so difficult. I must have written about 15, 20 drafts and kept reading them, and it sounded wrong to me. When finally I wrote what I thought was the final scene, still one was so nervous when it was being done because there was no straight path in that thing. What I loved was the way Vidya just transformed in that. Before the scene was shot, we were all joking around, talking and everything. She just transformed, and that whole thing of the chain and how she gives it and how she just puts it around his neck, it could have been a very, very awkward and strange scene. But it just became so magical because of the way the chemistry between Saif and Vidya and the way she just transformed instantly when she was performing.
Thank
and
you,
that's why I feel so happy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Feel
And
so
that's-
happy that I got that chance. And also in Lage Raho Munna Bhai, the first poem which you
Yeah.
read, yeah, I was part of the writing team there, and that was a lovely experience.
And
too,
I
yeah.
have to say, to this celebration will not be complete without mentioning Dada Pradeep Sarkar, who's no longer with us. But, you know, he had faith in me at a time when I didn't even see myself. I thought my career was over because I had gone through a spate of 3 years of rejections down south where I'd been signed on for films and then replaced in them. But that man had the faith in me. And, you know, when Mr. Chopra told him that, you know, I'll get you the biggest actresses in Hindi cinema to do Parinita, name them, I'll get you whoever you want. And he said, no, I want only her. Yes. And he said, tu pagal Bengali hai. He said, par itna tera pagalpan hai, to theek hai, test her. So I think, you know, we did so many screen tests, and finally, by the way, Enrique is coming back to India after 20 years to celebrate me. Did you know that? Because the last time he came was a time when Mr. Chopra called me on the phone and said, you know, I was at the concert. I have to tell you, I was close to the stage. I thought Enrique was the best kisser. I'd imagined that he would pull me up on stage. I had this photographer, now he's a photographer, Pavitra. I told Pavitra, just lift me up and maybe he'll just pull me up. Pavitra was about to lift me and his phone rings because my phone was off. Dada says, "Kahan hai Vidya?" So he says, "Hum log concert mein hai." He says, "Mr. Chopra baat karna chahte hain." So I took the phone and I said, Mr. Chopra, can I please call you back in an hour? He said, no, please get out of the concert and call me. I was so upset. I walked out. I'm so sorry. No, but he made my life. Hero was playing in the background. And here Mr. Chopra said, you are my Parinita. And tap, 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 aansu nikle the. What a special... Yeah, but it was Dada, it was Mr. Chopra, and it was the entire team. And I feel very grateful and overwhelmed.
Well, Vidya, it has been amazing to celebrate 20 years, and we will be back to celebrate the next 20 and the next.
Thank
but
you.
Please, a round of applause.
Thank you so much.